Hello everyone, Lone Wolf Illustration here, welcome back to another video. So this is going to be Nino from Quintessential Quintuplets, as you could tell by the thumbnail. It is a series about a high school student who becomes a tutor for 5 girls, and they are identical sisters. And the ending is not my favorite part, but after some heated ranting, I've just come to accept it. So I am sketching with a blue colored pencil. It's a mechanical pencil, but what I've done is I've just gotten some leads from Japan and they are just colored. So this one is called mint blue. I also have a lavender and I have a red. They come in other colors too, such as orange. I've also seen pink and just various other colors. I am looking at a reference photo on my iPad. This is the actual manga panel. So how I've recorded this video is I've got my camera set up to my computer and I'm recording through my computer. It's just seeing what the camera is seeing. So anyways, what that means is that I can actually flip the canvas, I suppose, and I can actually see what proportions look off, kind of like how you can do on digital art. One way to do this traditionally, if you don't do that, is you can just take a picture of it with your phone and then flip it, or you could hold your phone up to the ceiling and see it flipped like that. So man, it's a long process. I drew for about I think it was like 5 or so hours, including color. So that's actually pretty fun, pretty cool. I enjoyed this one. I think it's not my best, I don't think, but I'm still at a place where I was just like, you know what, I think it's good to just leave it here. It's better than what I've been able to do in the past, and I'm pretty happy about that. So anyways, what you're seeing here is just me still just getting the proportions and stuff. This hand was really hard to draw for me. I don't know why, but it was really hard to draw for me. I go back and fix it at the end, or nearish the end of the sketch, kind of like how I'll go back and fix her neck. The neck was just very long for some reason, and so was the nose. And like I said, it's just, you know, whenever you don't look at it continuously flipped like you do on digital, it's kind of hard to get the proportions right. So it also helps to just take a step back and come back to it and then look at it with fresh eyes. I did this over the course of a few days. It took quite a while to actually finish this one. I was finishing up finals for college, and man, that's a story for another day. It was pretty rough, but I managed to get by. I got mostly all A's and wouldn't be in a class, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, I guess I should talk more about the show. So each of the quintessential quintuplets, Nino, Miku, Ichika, Yotsuba, and Itsuki, they each have like their own little personalities, and in the beginning they were like pretty much identical, like their appearances are. And so as they grow up, they divulge more. And Nino, if you've seen any portion of it, and this won't be a spoiler, she really just does not like this guy at the beginning. But as you can see, and as the show predicts, all of them pretty much have a feeling for him at some point. So they end up liking him at some point, and so then I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to spoil anything else. If you do consider what I said is spoilery. So this manga panel isn't colored at all. It's black and white. So I had to look at a reference of the actual colors from the anime and some of the references that they have in the manga that are colored, and actually try to do that. Try to go for that for the actual colored pages, or not for the colored pages, but for my colored page. And I have this set for like a 5-minute sketch, so you can see the sketch, and then I have the rest of the video as coloring. And part of the reason I'm commentating all the way through this is because I prefer to hear people talk to me and talk through the process instead of having music, because the music kind of bores me or I don't like it. And I like hearing someone's voice and talk about what they were thinking. So to begin with the coloring, I laid down a layer of pink with a Copic marker. It's not my best coloring simply because I have not colored in quite a while. School has been keeping me very busy. As you can see, it's kind of streaky, but I go back and add more and more layers to it. And so that way it doesn't look so streaky and we actually get somewhat of a decent result, I think. I do not like lines in my art for some reason. I like anime, but I don't like drawing it for whatever reason. But I did like this enough to draw it. And I really prefer just realistic drawings because I've mentioned in a video on a different channel, if I've uploaded it on a different channel, or if I've uploaded it in my last video, I have aphantasia, so I can't see things in my head, but I'm not full aphantasia. I have a voice in my head that I can think, like do math problems or think about stuff, and a lot of other people don't have that actually, which is pretty interesting. So anyways, I just decided to not try to make this a more realistic drawing and just stick to what the actual reference was, which was anime. That's a very long rant, but you know, I had to talk about it. I ran about it a lot. I ran about it a lot in person. So anyways, I'm laying down the skin tones, and you can't see this, but as I'm recording this right now, I can't fully see what parts I complete at what time, because the video is skipping around in the editor and I'm just recording this in the editor. So anyways, I lay down the base tones, I go back and add shading. If you guys want me to, at some point, if I do another drawing and I upload it, I will actually put the colors of the Copic markers I use, and I'll say whether I use them for skin or for hair or for what have you, whatever I use it for. As you can see, I did add some shading to the hair. I think I go back and add some more, and I darken up the hair and make it a little bit better. The hands were actually like really, I come back and forth to them. They were pretty difficult for me for whatever reason. And the nails, as you'll see at some point, oh, here we are, already done them. They actually have this blue to green gradient in them in the anime and in the manga, I believe, if they're colored. And man, it was pretty hard for me to do with Copic markers. I just didn't know how to blend effectively to do that because it was such a small area. And the eyes gave me some big trouble. As you saw in the manga panel not too long ago, her eye is mostly just black and white, but you can see she has like her pupil or whatever, I can't remember what it is, basically the black circle in your eye. And I had the biggest problem deciding how big or how small that should be, because if you do it and you do it incorrectly, it just looks really, really creepy. And as we'll see in a little bit when I do the bow tie as we're doing now, I ended up doing a gradient for it, and I really love the gradient. In the manga, I believe it goes from like yellow to green to blue to purple. I think it does that in the anime at some points too, but for the most part in the anime, it's like bluish, like a bluish color. But I added blue, and then well, no, it was green, then to like a bluish color, and then I started doing gradients from these blue to a purple and then to various purples, and I actually really liked the way that turned out. I wish I had done it for the whole bow instead of just doing it for these little back pieces. So as you can see, it went from a bluish green to a purple to a purple to a darker, and then so on. Now, I do not like lines in my art for whatever reason. I think I mentioned that before. So I added very, very little lines. I don't line the face that much. I do line the eyes, and I don't line the hand at all. I just like using the shading to help with that. And yeah, and so now I'm adding white highlights, and that just helps with a bunch of stuff like correcting mistakes. Anyways, if you guys like the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.